Cyclones are heading toward Morgantown. Do they blow the Mountaineers away? Or will the Coliseum be a storm shelter for the Mountaineers to pull off a victory? Stay tuned, I'll tell you what I think. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and here we are again with another edition of Coos' Corner, where I serve up college football and college basketball content to you almost every day. If you like that kind of content, hit the red subscribe button for me, please, if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your score prediction for the West Virginia Iowa State game. I'll give you my prediction at the end. Now let's get on with the show. The game will take place on Tuesday, February the 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and will be streamed on ESPN+. West Virginia is actually favored in the game, ESPN giving them a 64% chance to win. Iowa State has a 36% chance to win, according to ESPN. Let's go over some team stats, and I'll throw them up on the screen for you. Points per game, Iowa State, 68 a game, West Virginia, 68 a game. They're 8th and 9th in the Big 12 in those categories, respectively. So neither team is going to set the world on fire on the offensive side. Points against, Iowa State, 61 a game, West Virginia giving up 65.9. Iowa State is third in the conference in that category. West Virginia is 8th. Field goal percentage, Iowa State shooting 44.1% from the floor. West Virginia shooting 41.7%, which is 10th in the league. Rebounds per game, Iowa State's 33.3. West Virginia is 33.4. Assists per game, Iowa State 14.3. West Virginia 10.2. Blocks per game, Iowa State 3. West Virginia 5. Steals per game, Iowa State 8.8, which is good for third in the league. West Virginia is 8 a game, which is good for fifth in the league. Streaks, Iowa State has dropped 2 games in a row. West Virginia has dropped 7 in a row. Both of these teams come into the game reeling a little bit. Iowa State at one time was ranked in the top 15 in the nation and was undefeated. They've since dropped to number 20 in the country after they've struggled a little bit in Big 12 play. They've dropped 3 of their last 5 and 6 out of their last 10, whereas West Virginia has not only dropped 7 straight, but they've dropped 8 of their last 10 and have only won 2 games in Big 12 play. Iowa State has won 3 games in Big 12 play. Some other team stats that aren't on this list that I wanted to go over with you. Look at field goal percentage defense. This is another area where West Virginia's been struggling. They're 10th in the league at 42.9%. They're giving up 42.9% shooting to their opponents, whereas Iowa State's only giving up 41.9%. So, and that's good for 6th in the league. So neither team's great in that category, but West Virginia is the bottom of the barrel in the Big 12. Then three-point defense, West Virginia is only doing slightly better. They're 8th in the league in that category, giving up 30.8% shooting at the three-point line to their opponents, whereas Iowa State is 2nd in the Big 12. They're only giving up 28.2% shooting from 3. And in one area where West Virginia is doing slightly better than Iowa State is turnover margin. They're 3rd in the league at 3.55 a game. Iowa State is 4th in the league, 3.35 a game. So both of these teams like to force turnovers. Neither one of them turning over at a huge clip. Which team can hold on to the ball better and which team can force turnovers against the other side better. That's kind of a battle against strengths here, in my opinion, when you look at that. Now let's look at some individual player stats. First, let's look at the visiting team, Iowa State. Iowa State is led by Izaiah Brockington. Very good player. Izaiah Brockington's a guard, averaging 16.9 points a game on 46.5% shooting and shooting 35% from 3. He also leads the team in rebounding at 7.8 a game, which is actually 2nd in the Big 12, and his scoring mark of 16.9 is 4th in the Big 12. So he's one of the top performers in the league all around. Right. But they also have a really good point guard in Tyrese Hunter. Tyrese Hunter is averaging 4.4 assists per game and 2 steals a game, and is 3rd in the Big 12 in both of those categories. And when you look at West Virginia's key players, obviously you've got Taz Sherman. Now, Taz Sherman actually missed the last game against Texas Tech with a concussion that he received late in the Baylor game last Monday. Taz is 2nd in the Big 12 in scoring at 18.9 a game. He also leads the team in assists. He's shooting 43.2% from the floor and 35.4% from 3. Then you got Sean McNeill, the only other Mountaineer averaging double figures in scoring. He's 13.5 a game on 43% shooting, 37% from 3. And then Gabe Osaboyan doing his normal thing, playing great defense, just being a lockdown defender, getting loose balls, deflections, drawing charges, and he's also bringing down 5.9 rebounds a game, which leads the team. And then Jalen Bridges has been playing well of late. He's averaging 9 points and 5 rebounds a game. Jalen Bridges has really been coming on here the last few weeks, especially Taz was out with COVID a few weeks back, and then he struggled to return to his normal self when he did come back. Jalen Bridges kind of helped fill that gap and stepped up his game, has started scoring the ball more, been more aggressive, taking it to the hoop. And if he can continue to do that, it will help this Mountaineer team going forward. Now let's look at the keys to victory for each team. First, visiting Iowa State. Iowa State needs to take care of the basketball. We know West Virginia loves to force turnovers with their high-pressure defense, and it's not always full court now. They're not necessarily press Virginia anymore, but they will apply a lot of pressure in the half court and will go full court at times. But they love on-the-ball pressure, especially with their guard, Kedrian Johnson, who's one of the top in the Big 12 in steals. And then, like I said, Gabe Osabuoyen as well, and the other guys. They will put pressure on you on the defensive side. So can Iowa State protect the basketball? And then Iowa State needs to make shots. As I read to you with the team stats, West Virginia has not done a good job of stopping their opponents from making shots. They're giving up a high percentage. Can Iowa State capitalize on that? And then defensively, Iowa State needs to make someone besides Taz Sherman and Sean McNeill beat them. If they can limit the scoring from Taz and Sean, force Jalen Bridges or one of these other guys to beat them, that will likely be a recipe for success because most teams who have done that have been successful against the Mountaineers. Now for West Virginia, they need to rebound the basketball. This is one of the only teams they've played this year that aren't drastically better than them on the rebounding front. So can they hold their own on the boards and win the battle of the boards? That's going to be key in this game. Take advantage of Iowa State's weak rebounding as well. West Virginia needs to do better scoring the ball inside. They've got a slight advantage, and they've got a slight size advantage with their bigs. Can they take advantage of that? One of West Virginia's weaknesses this year has been scoring in the paint. They need to do better in this game. If they can score in the paint against Iowa State, I think they can win the game. Defensively, can they stop Izaiah Brockington? Izaiah Brockington is like I said, he's the heartbeat of this team, especially on the scoring front. Can they shut him down, limit his points, make somebody else beat him? And then last but not least, is Taz Sherman going to play in this game? Will he be released from the concussion protocol? Because if not, it could be another long day for the Mountaineers. It's going to be really tough. Now, they have proven they played Texas Tech really close without Taz in their last game. Just couldn't get over the hump and missed too many shots in the second half. So they've proven that they can play with good teams without him, but they have to make shots to do that. But if Taz plays, then you can bet they're going to make more shots because that's what he does. He makes shots. They're going to need his scoring and his shot making. So my score prediction, I'm making this prediction assuming Taz Sherman's going to be back, and I got a good feeling about this one. I think the Mountaineers pull this one out. Mountaineers have lost 7 in a row, but the last 2 games, they have looked much better than they did in the first 5 that they lost. I think they're coming around. The team looks like they're gelling. They're playing better team basketball. They're playing hard. They're putting forth effort. They're embracing this just us mentality because the fan base is being critical of them. The fan base has been on them a little bit on social media. Whether you agree or disagree with that, that's the way it is. And the guys are adopting this just us mentality because I've seen it on Twitter. And I think if they can keep that mentality, they can actually use that to their advantage. They can rally around each other, play for each other, play hard. I think they can pull out a win in this game and end this losing streak. And I think they get it done. It's in Morgantown. The Mountaineer crowd will be in full effect. I think both teams are going to struggle to score, I think, because that's just not their strength. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. West Virginia will barely break 60. I think it's 61-57 in favor of the Mountaineers in Morgantown on Tuesday. So there's my prediction. West Virginia 61, Iowa State 57. West Virginia finally breaks their losing skid, pulls out a win, and avoids the first 8-game losing streak since Bob Huggins has been the coach at West Virginia. Well, let me know, guys, in the comments. What's your score prediction for this game? Do you think the Mountaineers end their skid, or do you think Iowa State comes in and the Cyclones blow the Mountaineers away? Let me know what you think. Also, please, if you can, support me financially with joining my Patreon page. There's perks that go along with it, guys. I'm not just asking you to give me free money. I will give you perks to go along with the membership. Also, the channel membership through YouTube, which you can do just simply by clicking that join button right underneath. If you don't want to support me financially, but you want to support me for free, all you got to do is subscribe, give me the thumbs up, and leave a comment. All that stuff helps out the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you tuning into this video. Now, cue Country Roads.